Hey guys, welcome back. WebLikeBoy2500 here, and today I'm doing a video that's probably long overdue. So, what you see in front of you, you might know as ScriftJ. Okay, ScriftJ. So, the last video I made about ScriftJ was a while ago, and it showed something similar to this. It wasn't exactly this. It was a much newer version than this. It was like between version 1 and 2 of ScriftJ, but I'm not going to get to that. I'm here to talk to you with the most recent versions and releases of ScriftJ. So, this is like the simple version 1. This is like when very first working on it. So, we go to the very first version right here. So, this is version 9.2. This says 9.1, but I believe this is 9.2. First thing, let me just explain numbering. So version 9, that's the version of like all the updates and stuff. And the first number is usually equal to the OOP, which is the main JavaScript file. So a lot of times it's equal to that, just because of how that was like the main file, the original file that makes this whole work. Then 0.1, which should be 0.2, that's like the bug fix / update to this version that kind of fixes this. So I have this main page and this is the logo. And so like, what is ScriftJ? ScriftJ is a web application that has been worked on for several months, which is inspired by Scratch. And yeah, I'm now going for main development and blah 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 blah. You can read that if you want. And this is what it looks like. Now, due to that, I was using a smaller screen and it didn't have as good of a stuff. It didn't really resize to your screen. It used to, but no longer does. It does resize vertically, but not this way. But that's fixed in other versions. So like, this is a start block, so it can be like, say, hi. So just keep this in mind that this is the very first version that was released, version 9. And you know, something interesting about this is that these are divs, not input boxes at all. So I had to make my own custom input thing. So as you can see, that's all customly inputted. When I go over it, overlay, it's just a bunch. These input things are really crazy, but this does actually have functionality of moving and doing stuff now. There are some issues like this with display, which I haven't fixed, and this says this but doesn't update when it moves, this say box. That's fixed in other versions. And then there's also a look block, so like if you run it, you can change different colors. So that's really all that was in this version. And another thing is it can move up and stuff. But the next version is where stuff gets interesting. So this is the current version out, version 10.1.4. Let me explain numbering to you again. So this is, okay, I've explained the first two, has had one bug fix with version 10, you know, whatever. Now 0.4 is the version of the website. So I believe this one was, or the one before this, version 9 would be like, that'd be like the first version of the website, or maybe the third, I don't know, something like that. And pretty much in this one, there's a shape block, which allows you to change stuff, and you know, future plans to improve this page, add more blocks, features, continue to improve design and performance of the code. And I have been doing that. There's been tweaks, there's been other stuff. I think I might have added this a little bit, but let's just go into the editor. So this has been removed, this little gray thing, in the next version. But it's also the run code block. It looks similar, but I believe colors, updated the colors of the blocks, and then movement stuff. And one of the biggest things about this is that this is now all using SVG Canvas. The previous version uses divs. Now it uses Canvas just because of some things like input boxes were very hard to do. And another reason is when you used to click on the input boxes, you could move it. Okay, so how this is so it draws it like this. But this part right here is actually, like, if I were to remove this input box here, this is actually clear. SVG uses a point thing, so there's like space in between this, so when you click on this, it doesn't drag the block, which is an amazing feature. And that's why I kind of switched over to SVG, even though SVG, I'm using some very special things in SVG to do these input boxes, so it isn't really supported as well through the browsers. And then the shape block, so I can change like rectangle, and everything else still works. You know, this was an okay update. You know, okay. Well, so this is the current version out on the main website, scriptj.x10hosts.com, I believe. But there still is one more version. Now, this version that I'm about to show you has never been. Pretty much you're gonna see this. This is a brand new version. Now, I just haven't gotten to upgrading this, and so this is a version 11.0.5, so this is version 5 of the page. I made it so it's all be centered. I'm probably gonna change that once the final thing's eventually out. It does say Chrome, due to this has been found to be most reliable while using Chrome. So, just suggesting you use Chrome. Again, because of SVG and some other things with the code. So, you're seeing a lot more stuff. Before it was just these blocks, now there's 3 more. And these are done. Now, the change X works pretty much the same as move. I have been trying to work on like rotating the blocks and stuff, which has been interesting, but doesn't seem like it's too easy to do. So that's kind of what the change X stuff is for. But these mainly work the same. So like, oh, another thing, like in this one I said this is run code in this thing, it's now taken out, and now it's just the run code's up here. So like I just click this and it just runs it. You know, just easy stuff. Another cool block that's in this is the say block. So it's pretty much like this block, but has this. And if you hover over this, it has seconds, string, the type of inputs. Now that only works with these. I added that too. Just simple little, small little tweaks here and there for some things when I get bored. So like say hi for 2, that'd be 2 seconds. So then it disappears. So yeah. Now one thing to keep in mind is that it isn't pausing the code for this, which eventually it will. It's just how a lot of how JavaScript works and about delays and stuff, it a lot of times skips over the code, so I'm going to have to kind of make my own way of doing this a little bit better, and it's a little bit difficult to do and will definitely take some time to complete. Now there's another block, the sound block, which I won't play too many times because I can't really control the audio of this, but that's a pop. There's a click, and then there's a beep. Yeah. So at least these are the blocks so far added. I will be trying to add more and trying to improve stuff even more. And the thing is, the code actually has been changed a lot, especially for these, and like sound and stuff. Has had a lot of different improvements and changes. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll like this next update. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.